Good day. Welcome to MathLink Academy. I am Mr. C, and I will be covering this particular unit, which we're going to talk about order of operations. Let's get started. Order of operations, basically what we want to do is simplify an expressions using with multiplication, addition, exponents, subtraction, but there's an order in which we have to do that. And if we don't follow that order, we will normally get the problem wrong. So let me give you the order of operations in the right order and how we should do a problem in order to simplify it to get what the answer will be. So the first thing we should do is parentheses. So if we see parentheses, and sometimes parentheses are located as a multiplication, or parentheses are saying that we got to do something inside. First thing I'm saying is do what's inside the parentheses first. So that's the first thing. The second thing, we do what's powers or roots, which we call exponents. So another way you could call powers or roots are exponents. And if you see that in your problem, you do that second. First is parentheses, number two is exponents. Number three, we do multiplication and division from left to right. They actually have the same ranking, so we say that'd be number three, multiplication and division from left to right. And then the last thing, we do addition and subtraction from left to right. And so these are the order of operations that we want to remember. You want to put this in your back of your mind so when you see an expression with all these different types of operations, you know what order to go. There's usually an easy way to remember the parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction by saying something called please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or for me, I'll say please excuse my dear Aunt Shanika. So either way, you want to remember P is parentheses, E is exponents, M is multiplication, D is division, A is addition, and S is subtraction. So let's look at a problem and what we mean by order of operations and what do we mean by simplifying using order of operations. So this is a problem right here. And if you want to pause and try it on your own first and see if you get the same answer I would get, you can do that at this time. We're going to go to our whiteboard to see how to do this particular problem using the order of operations. So here's our problem. And we use order of operation to simplify to get us one answer that we have here. And so let's look at this. So what we're going to do is please excuse my dear Aunt Shanika. Let's use that particular piece. And P is the parentheses. Are there parentheses in this problem? Yes. So what we're going to do, we're going to do what's inside the parentheses first. So 15 plus 6, we're going to do that first. So 15 plus 6 is 21. So what I would do is write down 21 times 3 minus 28 divided by 7. So parentheses is number one. Number two is exponents. Are there any exponents in this particular problem? And the answer is no. So since there's no exponents, we'll go jump down to number three, which is multiplication and division, which there are some here from left to right. So I'm going to do here, watch how I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to multiply this 21 times 3. That's what we should do next, not the subtraction, because that's the last one. This would be what, guys? This would be 63 minus, and then let's also do this division piece, 28 divided by 7. 28 divided by 7, in our case, we're looking here, will be 4. Now, the last thing is addition and subtraction. There's no addition, so we're just going to do the subtraction. And the subtraction here will be 63 minus 4, which is 59. And then that'll be our answer. So the answer, if we did order of operations correctly, will be 59 for this problem. Here's another problem. let's use order of operations to do the operations in the right order to get our answer. So in this case, we start with parentheses. Are there parentheses in our problems? Yes. So we have 7 minus 2. And what I like to do is show my work. So I would say 3 times 7 minus 2, which is 5. And I'm going to leave that in parentheses and raise that to the second power, plus 36 divided by 6. Since there's no more parentheses, in some problems you may have more parentheses, I'm going to go to the next, which is our exponent. That's number 2. There is an exponent, which is the square. So we're going to do that next, the 5 square, if you see it. And so in this case, I'll do 3 times 5 square is 25, 5 times 5, plus 36 divided by 6. Next step, once we do all the exponents, we want to do multiplication and division from left to right, and we want to do those out the way. So in this case, we have this, the 3 times 25 is 75 if I'm not mistaken, plus we're also going to do this one, because division, there's a division there. 36 divided by 6 is 6 if I'm not mistaken. And so now we're left with adding and subtraction. In this case, we don't have subtraction. Let's just add those numbers. And if I'm not mistaken, this looks like it's 81 here. And then we will circle it. And then that'll be our answer if we do order of operations correctly. Let's look at this particular problem. This will be our last one. We want to simplify it using order of operations and have some unique symbols in here that we haven't discussed, but hopefully you may know how to do it. If not, we'll show you how to do it at another video. So let's look at what we have here. Again, we want to simplify this expression using all the operations that we have. First thing we understand is parentheses. And so for the parentheses, if you see here, guys, we got parentheses here, and we also got parentheses here. So let's knock that out. And again, I like to show my work. So let's show the work here. So for showing the work here, 7 minus 3, which is 4, and this leaves 4 square, plus, we don't worry about that now, 2 times 5 plus 3, which is 8. So we will use inside there, divided by the square root of 4. So I introduced something called the square root of 4. Now, since all the parentheses is doing inside the parenthesis is done, now let's do the next thing, which would be our exponents or our roots. In this case, we have roots and exponents as far as powers. And so we do 4 square, which is 16, 4 times 4, plus 2 times 8. We'll come back to that later. Divided by the square root of 4. We do that because that is a root. That's an exponent. And so the square root of 4 is 2. So we're done with that step. So again, we're showing our step by step. Next thing is multiplication and division. Do we have any of that here? Yes, we do. I'm going to underline that in green. Here's the multiplication. Here's the division right here. So we go from left to right. So we leave the 16 alone, plus 2 times 8. 2 times 8 in our case is 16. And we divide that by 2. I'm going to write that. But then we just divide 16 by 2. In our case, it will be 16 plus 8. Now we just do adding, subtracting. The only thing we have here is adding. So it'll be 16 plus 8. In our case, it will be 24. And that be our answer. And if that's our answer, let's circle it for the final answer. Again, I hope this helped for the order of operation in this particular unit. If you have any questions, feel free to go back over the video or look at some of the resources that we have on our website. Again, hopefully this helped you out as far as how to get started, how to do order of operations. Thank you.